Alright, so as we already know that our elements are divided into three major groups. We have our metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. And so we want to talk about the characteristics of those three groups and what they have. The first one is that metals are lustrous, meaning that they're shiny. And as you can kind of tell from our copper foil right here, that it is very shiny. They're ductile. What does that mean that they're ductile? That they can actually be pulled into wire, as we've got right here with our copper wire. They're malleable, meaning we can also take copper and beat it into thin sheets, what we have right here. Kind of like what aluminum foil is, but it's a color of copper. And last but not least, they're conductive, meaning they can carry a current, they can conduct heat or electricity. Next one that we want to talk about is the one that's in the middle of the periodic table. We call them the metalloids. And since they're in between metals and nonmetals, their characteristics are in between metals and nonmetals. So we have a few pieces of silicon here, and if you can see them, they're not as shiny as what you would expect a metal to be, or as that we've seen for our metals. They are semiconductors. They're somewhat malleable and somewhat ductile, but not as much as metals, obviously. And they're somewhat lustrous, meaning they're not as shiny as metals, but they do have some kind of shine to them. We have 6 major metalloids that we talk about. They're located on the stair steps. That's going to be B, Si, Ge, As, Sb, and Te. If you start at your stair step and bounce down, you'll need to make note of that on your periodic table. Hopefully you are taking notes about which ones are metalloids on there. Last but not least, we have our nonmetals. They're going to be opposite of the characteristics that we have metals. So if we look right here, we have some sulfur. As you notice, there's no shine to it. So they are not shiny. They're actually dull. They're very brittle, and they're insulators or non-conductors, meaning they do not conduct electricity or heat. There you go.